Now at 9, it's Super Tuesday. We'll see which presidential candidates voters in Oklahoma chose. Plus, a murder charge is filed in the stabbing death of a Carl Junction, Missouri man. And school officials in Carthage, Missouri break ground on a new high school baseball field.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. It's a pivotal night in the presidential primaries. 15 states and 1 territory voted on this Super Tuesday. Oklahoma was among them. And we start with the race for the Republican nomination. Donald Trump is projected to win the Sooner State with Nikki Haley in a distant second. Over on the Democrat side, President Biden is the projected winner with more than 70% of the votes. And for the Libertarian Party, Chase Oliver is currently leading over Jacob Hornberger by a count of 524 to 333. KOAM's Fernanda Silva asked several voters in Miami what drove them to the polls.
Change in our nation.
Change is a word many voters used to explain why they chose to vote the way they did. Border control is one of their main concerns.
We've got more crime in the country. We've had all these problems due to the fact that we can't close the border.
All the illegal aliens who have not been vetted need to be vetted, or they need to be sent back to where they came from. Not against immigration, just do it the legal way.
Voters also highlighted gas and grocery prices as concerns.
It's just to a point where a lot of people just flat can't afford it.
I want to see things made easier for our families.
Our country's in a mess.
Many voters we spoke to are Trump supporters, and the economy in general is another issue that drove them to the polls.
I mean, everybody says the economy's kind of okay, but it's not.
Economy has really tanked. I know they keep saying everything's coming up, but they forget that it tanked when they took over, and it's just now coming back up.
I expect the country to be in a lot better shape than what it's been in the last 4 years.
But not everyone is in agreement on the issues.
I think we have made such progress in the last 3 years. There's still much to be done, but I think that, my word, the medical changes, it is more than has occurred in many years.
While they might not agree on some topics, most agree on why people should go out and vote.
If I don't get out there and vote, then I can't expect, I can gripe and complain about it, but if I don't do my part as a citizen, I've got to get in there and say, hey, I'm concerned about this. I want my vote to be counted.
If we don't speak up with our vote, we will regret it.
In Miami, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
And while KOAM's team did not ask voters for who they voted for, some chose to share their thoughts, and Donald Trump was the most mentioned. Now, on this Super Tuesday, besides Oklahoma, 14 other states held primaries or caucuses. Fox News correspondent Connor Hansen has more on the national outlook.
Shortly after polls closed, both frontrunners took decisive victories in several states. President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump aren't leaving much room for their competition. Biden and Trump sweeping states like Arkansas, Virginia, Tennessee, and North Carolina.
I think Trump looks unflappable and these swing states look unflippable. When you look at all the poll results so far, people made up their mind last year. And that is pretty remarkable.
My poll numbers, the last 5 polls you guys don't report, I'm winning 5 in a row.
Nikki Haley down in delegate numbers, but not out yet.
You know, all of these people deserve to vote. 16 states want to have their voices heard. Let's let their voices get heard. I think it's as pro-American as it gets. That's where democracy. We don't anoint kings in America. We let people have choices.
She's been gaining traction with independent voters.
Well, I don't want her to quit because I think we all need a voice, as an independent voter especially.
Well, Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us with a first look at weather.
Yeah, and it definitely turned out to be a much colder day for us today. Temperatures struggled to warm up, but still it was just a smidge above our average high for this time of the year. 58.40 were the numbers. 56 was our average. Now notice this was a midnight high, so all afternoon long we hung out into the lower 50s. Now we're sitting kind of mid to upper 40s to near 50 degrees. We're not going to drop off too much more tonight, but you can see it's 15 to 20 degrees colder right now compared to this time last night. We had those light northeasterly winds which are kicking in. These will kind of diminish a bit as we go through the overnight hours. We do still have some clouds out there, so we'll call it partly cloudy skies for us tonight. We're pretty calm for now, but we do have thunderstorm chances which will start to increase tomorrow night. So tonight we hang into the 40s, back to 54 by 10 a.m. We'll be talking about those chances for thunderstorms here in a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. And one of the persons of interest in a Jasper County stabbing death is now charged with murder. Scott Burleson is charged with second-degree murder, first-degree robbery, and 2 counts of armed criminal action. He is still on the run. Authorities are also still searching for Paul Phillips, who's still only considered a person of interest and is not yet charged. Both are to be considered armed and dangerous. The Jasper County Sheriff's Office is searching for both men in connection with the stabbing death of Seth Langford of Carl Junction. Authorities say Langford was stabbed on Saturday and died of his injuries yesterday. Well, the family of an Ottawa County jail inmate who died in the jail is receiving more than $1 million to cover attorney fees. That's on top of the $33 million they were awarded in the wrongful death lawsuit filed against the county. The case dates back to 2015, when Terrell Ellis turned himself in at the jail for a DWI warrant. 12 days later, he was seen on surveillance video complaining of pain and begging for help as jail staff mocked him. Hours later, he was found cold and unresponsive. You can read more about the case on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. The city of Miami announces its new interim city manager. Tyler Klein will fill the position until a full-time replacement for Bo Reese can be found. Klein previously served in the interim position in 2021 after former city manager Dean Krutoff retired. He has worked for the city since 2011. The search for a new city manager is expected to take 8 to 12 weeks. Coming up, a foreign ruling with a domestic impact.
A landmark abortion ruling overseas is reigniting calls to protect reproductive rights right here in the U.S. I'm Jackie Ibanez. That and much more straight ahead.
Some Pitt State social work students are raising money for local organizations. The 5 students raised money by selling cookies and collecting donations. Those funds will support buying fentanyl test strips for the Wesley House in Joplin and the Community Health Center in Pittsburgh. Wesley House will also receive feminine hygiene products, and it will also fund school supplies for Pittsburgh's Westside Elementary.
We want to show the community that social workers can help out in many different areas and just give the people in need just a little bit of support and love and show that they are cared for and that we care about them and want to help them in the best ways possible.
The students also recruited volunteers for a prom for the people with intellectual disabilities and raised awareness for men's mental health. The SEK Humane Society has closed its doors again due to quarantine. According to the shelter, parvo cases are circulating in the southeast Kansas area. Now, the shelter says this is the same strain that was seen last fall and affected adult dogs that had already been vaccinated from parvo, though vaccinated dogs have a better chance at fighting and recovering from it. The outbreak could not have come at a worse time for the shelter, as it is once again operating at full capacity. A historic ruling to protect abortion rights overseas is triggering new calls to guard reproductive rights here in the U.S. Fox News correspondent Jackie Ibanez has the story.
Shockwaves sent around the world, with France officially becoming the only country to explicitly guarantee the right to abortions in its constitution. French lawmakers overwhelmingly approved the bill Monday with a vote of 780 to 72. Many citing the U.S. Supreme Court's 2022 decision to strike down Roe v. Wade as their motivation to pass the landmark legislation.
It's historical. We are all, as you see, very happy. And for us, it's a fundamental right.
A total of 14 states in America have enacted full abortion bans, with 7 others enforcing restrictions on the procedure between 6 to 18 weeks of pregnancy.
All around us, there are extremists working harder than ever to drag us back to a past that we thought was long over.
And with 2024 being a presidential election year, Democrats are trying to amplify voter turnout surrounding the issue. First Lady Jill Biden reminding voters it was former President Donald Trump's Supreme Court picks who voted to terminate Roe v. Wade, especially when it seems likely Trump and President Joe Biden could face off in a rematch come November.
He's bragging about killing Roe v. Wade.
Back in France, President Emmanuel Macron will inscribe abortion rights into the Constitution this Friday as the world celebrates International Women's Day. Jackie Ibanez, Fox News.
Doug is next with a complete look at the forecast, and later the Riverton School District comes together to send the Rams off to the state basketball tournament.
Well, of course, quite a bit cooler for us today after we set record highs yesterday. Today we sat mainly into lower 50s most of the day, and it's still chilly out there right now. It's short-lived. We'll start to warm things back up once again as we head into the daytime hours tomorrow. Here's a nice shot of our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex, of course, 7th and Joplin Street, looking off toward the north and to the east. Looks pretty good, and we're going to see decent conditions tonight. It's definitely chilly. Most of us are sitting into the low to mid 40s. We have 38 in Iola, so it's going to be a little bit cooler of a night. Here's 7th. Here's Rangeline, currently sitting at 48. And we have northeasterly winds light at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. We could get a little bit of patchy fog in here later on tonight as these winds continue to diminish. Northeasterly wind fairly light. We do still have some low clouds across the area. And if we expand, there's not a whole bunch going on here, but here's our next storm system building in the Pacific Northwest. This system, right in line with our pattern, is going to be affecting us as we head into Thursday and Friday and give us a much better shot for more widespread rain, something we haven't had much of over the past, couple weeks. All right, so let's jump ahead to Thursday. It's a very low severe risk, level 1 out of 5, especially in northeastern Oklahoma, but we are going to get some thunderstorms in here that could be a little bit on the stronger side, most likely not severe, but still some stronger storms. Now, tonight's fine. Mid 40s as we go through the daytime hours tomorrow, upper 50s to near 60 by noon. And I think most of us 65, 66, 67 degrees, 68's Anderson to Bentonville, 64 Monette, 68 in Miami, Pittsburgh up to about 66. Tomorrow night, clouds increase well after midnight, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Some scattered showers start to pop up, and then scattered thunderstorms get going. So here's 7:30 in the morning. A very loud start to your Thursday, very wet start, periods of showers and thunderstorms through the morning hours. Again, some stronger ones, not expecting anything severe, but with these storms, we may get some very small hail. Showers and thunderstorms continue to work through as we go into the early afternoon, maybe a little bit of a lull, and then these will really pick up again Thursday night into Friday morning as another complex drives through. And then we're going to have periods of showers and thunderstorms again on Friday. So a fairly wet system, which we need. We need the rain. So rainfall out of this next storm system, a lot of areas are going to pick up 1, 2, maybe 3 inches of rain. And again, we need it. 66 tomorrow, 64 is Thursday, Friday. A little bit cooler for the weekend as we start to dry out. So it's not going to be 70s to near 80 like we've seen over the past 2 weekends, but still not bad, and again, we do need the rain. But it's March now. I don't think this is going to be a severe weather outbreak, but those days are right around the corner.
I know. We got to be prepared for them, that's for sure.
We do.
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, coming up, a look at the new demands the FAA is putting on Boeing after last month's mid-air blowout. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly announces more than $14 million in funding to improve 37 airports in the state. In our area, the Atkinson Municipal Airport in Pittsburgh will receive $135,000 to replace its automated weather observing system. Chinook's Martin Johnson Airport will use $180,000 to install chain link fencing with barbed wire as a wildlife barrier. And in Iola, the Allen County Airport has two projects in the works, totaling just under $665,000. The first for the design and the second for the construction of a drainage and earthwork project for a parallel taxiway at the airport. Well, it's another rough few days for Boeing as Amy Kiley reports. An FAA audit report out yesterday alleges non-compliance issues, and the company is getting sued.
Boeing faces another round of headaches.
I don't think there's been a day that's gone by that we haven't thought about it.
This couple and another passenger are suing Alaska Airlines and Boeing for $1 billion. They were on the 737 MAX 9 in January when a door plug flew off mid-flight.
We have to change our lives around this fear of flying now.
An FAA audit report out yesterday stems from that January accident. It alleges multiple non-compliance issues. Boeing has fewer than 90 days to produce a quality improvement plan based on the audit and an earlier expert panel review. The CEO says those provide a clear picture of what needs to be done. He says Boeing will demonstrate profound change. Meanwhile, Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 is back in the news a decade after it went missing. The Malaysian government says it might be open to renewing the search for it.
They do have over 50 to 60 pieces of the plane that washed up, so they know for a fact it's down there somewhere.
To be clear, the missing plane is a Boeing 777, not a 737 MAX 9. And a key investigator on that case says it's not the aircraft she suspects.
I still go back to the lithium-ion batteries in the cargo hold. We don't allow that, and there's a reason.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Federal regulators today took a step towards trashing junk fees. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau finalized regulations that cap most credit card late charges at $8. According to the agency, this will save U.S. families more than $10 billion per year. Meta platforms, including Facebook and Instagram, went down for thousands of users this morning. But by early afternoon, the sites were back up and running. Now, Meta attributed the outage to a technical issue. According to outage tracker Down Detector, at least 500,000 Facebook users reported issues logging in or accessing the site. Threads and Facebook Messenger also went down. Exploring the unexplored. Up next, we'll learn about the new marine life discovered off the coast of Chile. An underwater exploration off the coast of Chile has led to the discovery of more than 100 new sea creatures. This is video from the Schmidt Ocean Institute expedition. Scientists identified deep sea corals, glass sponges, sea urchins, and squat lobsters. The discoveries were all in an underwater mountain chain that stretches from Chile to Easter Island. Cool. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports is coming your way. School officials in Carthage, Missouri break ground on a new high school baseball field. Plus, the Pittsburgh High School Theater prepares for opening nights of its spring production.
You're watching the 4 States Most Watched News.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. After years of talking about bringing a baseball field back to Carthage High School campus, the school district today broke ground. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
And I just think all around it will bring us together more as a better team.
Phase 1 of the Carthage High School baseball field is underway. With the podium representing home base, the players are eager to have a home field on campus, and the coach says this should improve practice time.
One exciting thing is the fact that we will be closer to home. We're steps from the high school, so that does save some practice time and just helps with the logistical issues.
The baseball team has been using Carl Luton Stadium for practice, but with the $1.2 million+ stadium on the horizon, Players are excited to practice on new turf.
I feel like a lot of people play on turf fields, and we didn't have that to practice on. And so us practicing on a turf field will help us control the hops better, and I feel like it will help us a lot.
They're focused on the task at hand right now, and yes, they're excited about being out on a turf field, but they also know that there's a season to play, and their focus is on that right now.
But it's not just the high school baseball team that has plans for the new stadium. Other groups will also use the field, including kids, before they reach high school.
We're trying to build a program that recruits students from young age up, and so the young kids can come and watch Carthage Tiger baseball right here at home, grow up watching Carthage Tiger baseball, and then when they get to high school, they'll be excited to play on our home field right here on campus.
Reporting in Carthage, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
Phase 1 and 2 of building the new baseball field is expected to wrap up in September, right in time for the next baseball season. Well, Pitt State looks to make education more affordable with a brand new scholarship program. The school says the idea behind the Great Gorilla Scholarship Program was to remove hurdles for students who are seeking a college education. Most notable, an ACT test score is no longer required. Awards are based only on GPA. The Great Gorilla Scholarship Program begins this fall. Well, over at Pitt State, the Bicknell Center was filled with the sounds of the symphony. The Pitt State Symphonic Band hosted a concert, but they were not alone. They were joined by the Pittsburgh Hispanic Banda, the PSU Brass Ensemble, the Pittsburgh Community Middle School Choir, and the PSU Percussion Ensemble. Pittsburgh High School Theater raises the curtain on its spring production. The Lightning Thief, the Percy Jackson musical, is an adaptation of the best-selling book, The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan, and features an original score by Rob Rokicki. One cast member said it's good to play the bad guy.
Percy Jackson is, at first he's like, wow, I'm such a misunderstood kid, I'm so different. And then he realizes he's a demigod and there are so many other kids like him, which is crazy. And then all at the same time, he's put on this quest to find this lightning bolt that he didn't even steal.
Grover's known to be a little bit of a goofball in this version. He's all getting into all sorts of these hijinks and whatever's going on at the time. He knows how to make the audience laugh, that's for sure.
Production will run Thursday and Friday at 7 p.m. and Saturday at 2 p.m. at Pittsburgh High School. Well, a cold front could bring some relief to firefighters working to contain one of the biggest wildfires in Texas history. Fox News' senior national correspondent William Lajeunesse has the story.
The tragedy of what's been lost is nothing short of catastrophic.
More than 1 million acres of the Texas Panhandle scorched black as several wildfires continue raging out of control. Officials say cooler weather and a change in wind patterns should help contain the fire this week after leaving a trail of devastation.
About 70% of Hemphill County was burned. 47 families have been displaced. And these families face a life of total uncertainty at this time.
On Tuesday, this volunteer fire chief, Zeb Smith, died while battling a structure fire. His small town among the hardest hit.
It is always a tragedy to lose any life, but to see one of our chiefs, a first responder, working to battle back against flames and losing his life in the line of duty is something that we never want to see.
Fire also claimed at least one civilian death.
Our hearts break for the family of Cindy Owens, who tragically lost her life.
Ranchers say they've lost cattle, barns, and feed supplies. Governor Greg Abbott says state funding is available to help. Public donations are being sought as well.
We want to make sure donations are getting to a location that's not going to be fraudulent.
Officials also warned the Texas fire could impact beef prices across the country, as many cattle farmers lost herds they've spent years cultivating. In Los Angeles, William Lajeunesse, Fox News.
Well, a bit later, gearing up for party season.
Thousands of spring breakers are heading to Florida, and law enforcement officials say they're ready. I'm Dana Marie McNichol in Miami. I'll have the details coming up.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a much colder day for us today. Temperatures struggled to warm up. We had a midnight high upper 50s, but sat into the lower 50s most of the day. It looks pretty good. We have a lot of clouds. This is our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex, of course. Downtown Joplin looking off toward the northeast. All right, it's chilly. It's a little breezy. We're sitting mainly into the mid 40s. We're going to drop off not too much more, but a little bit more later on tonight. Humidity is at 77% as we approach the dew point and our winds diminish. We may get a little bit of patchy fog out there, but most of you are going to be fine. All right, northeasterly wind, kind of 5 to 10 to 15, is backing down by the time we get into the morning, but you can see a lot of low clouds across the region, so we'll call it partly to mostly cloudy skies for us tonight. Storm system passed through yesterday, gone. Next system building out toward the west, the western third. You can see snow, Idaho, parts of Nevada, northern parts of California. And here's our upper level winds. You can see this kink right here, this kink right off the coast of California. And this fits right into our pattern, heading right into the region, right on schedule. Same system we had right around January 20th to January 22nd. All right, so we're getting into that time of year. Of course, it's Severe Weather Awareness Week. We do have state drills tomorrow, so if you hear the tornado sirens, just know that. And then as we get into the next few weeks, of course, our chances for severe weather start to go up. Now, if we look at Thursday, it's a level 1 out of 5. I think we're going to get some stronger storms. I really don't anticipate anything severe, but we are going to get some thunderstorms out there. Now, not tonight, mid 40s, warm near 60 by noon, stopping at 11:30. Let's go into the afternoon. I'll stop at 4:30. It's 65 Stockton, 65 Cassville, Anderson, Bentonville, 68, 68 Miami, Chanute, 66. After midnight, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, here comes scattered thunderstorms blossoming into Thursday morning across the region. Some of these storms could be strong enough to contain some small hail. Again, I don't think they're going to be too strong, but something we want to watch. Thunderstorms through the morning. Let's go into the early afternoon. Biggest batch rolls east, a little bit of a lull. But as we get into Thursday late evening, Thursday night, here comes another big batch rolling in for Thursday night into Friday morning. So now we're at 4 a.m. on Friday morning, and it's just periods of showers and thunderstorms again throughout the daytime hours on Friday. Rainfall potential, which we need it, 1, 2, maybe isolated 3-inch amounts with this next storm system. Before the system gets here, here's your day planner for you. Wednesday, 60 by noon, high temp 66 during the afternoon. 64s Thursday and Friday. We do cool down, but we dry out as we head into the weekend, and then back into the 60s by the time we head into early next week.
Kind of a chilly weekend, though.
Yeah, a lot cooler than what we've seen over the past couple weeks.
Yeah, that's for sure. No one should complain about being too hot.
Nope.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Doug. Well, coming up in sports, Missouri Southern and Pittsburgh State basketball both have a player named MIAA Freshman of the Year. Plus, Erie's boys basketball prepares for its trip to the 2A state tournament. John Dales has those stories and more up next.
Riverton boys basketball is heading to state for the first time since 2015. And this afternoon, the Rams leave for Hutchinson. Chants of blue and gold and let's go Rams echo through the hallways as the sub-state champion Riverton basketball team leaves for state. This is just the second season for the Rams under the direction of head coach Tucker Thompson, who says he loves this team's never say die attitude.
The best thing that I've seen is definitely their mentality. They believe they can. They believe that they are better. They believe that no matter what happens during the game, if they're winning or losing, the game's not over until it hits 0. And they continue trying to fight, and that's definitely the best thing the thing I'm most proud of.
Erie boys basketball picked up one of the biggest upsets in the entire state of Kansas on Saturday. The Red Devils took down Colgan, who was the number 3 ranked team in Class 2A. In doing so, they punched their ticket to the 2A state tournament. The Red Devils are led by first-year head coach Braven Bourne. This Saturday marked their first win over Colgan in 3 seasons. Erie feels the sky is the limit this weekend at state, and the Red Devils' top players give a ton of credit to Coach Bourne.
We love him here. He makes a plan and we stick to it, and it works. Whatever he plans works, and we listen to him. And obviously, like, everybody needs to respect him because first-year coach is beat a very good team.
Right as soon as we got to the sub-state is when I really noticed that something was different in our practices. The desire to be here, the willingness to work extra hard and prepare for teams that maybe we hadn't seen.
I think we're super dangerous, you know. We got a 6'8", big, not a lot of teams have that, and we're working well together right now. Michael's a great shooter. We got Daniel's a good rebounder. Grant's a good rebounder, so I think we could be anybody in the state.
The MIAA basketball tournament tips off tomorrow afternoon in Kansas City. Today, postseason awards are released, and the 4 states are home to both Conference Freshman of the Year. Missouri Southern center Ryan Franklin is the MIAA Women's Basketball Freshman of the Year. She has started in every game the Lions have played this season, leading the team in rebounds with just under 6 per contest. She's also Southern's second leading scorer with just over 11.5 points per game. Franklin is an honorable mention All-MIAA performer. Pittsburgh State guard Jordan Freisen takes home the MIAA Men's Basketball Freshman of the Year award. He leads the Gorillas in minutes played this season, averaging 36 minutes of playing time per contest. Freisen is also in the top 5 in the conference in assists and is an honorable mention All-MIAA performer. Elsewhere on the women's side, Pitt State teammates Corinna Gerber and Grace Pyle each are selected to the first team All-MIAA. Southern guard Chrislyn Jones makes the second team All-Conference. Then 3 Lions, Ryan Franklin, Caitlin Honeycutt, and Brandy Hudson, along with Pittsburgh State's Harper Schreiner, all of them receive honorable mention selections from the MIAA. On the men's side, Pittsburgh State's Marquis English on the first team All-Conference. Southern's Darius Dawson is on the second team. PSU's Jeremy Shaw on the third team. Then PSU's RJ Forney receives an All-Defense selection. Freisen gets an honorable mention. So do Martin Macinas and Vincent Sigmund Jr. from MSSU. That's a look at sports. Back with more news after this.
As thousands of college students gear up to head south for spring break, officials in states like Florida and South Carolina are urging them to have a good time in a respectful way. Fox News correspondent Donna Marie McNichol has more from Miami.
If you're committing crimes, causing havoc, you are going to pay the price.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis not mincing words with his message to the thousands of college students heading here for spring break. It's part of a new push to get the rowdy crowds under control after a big uptick in violence last year. DeSantis is now deploying state troopers to potential trouble spots, urging folks to have fun while also respecting local laws.
We welcome people to come and have a good time. What we don't welcome is criminal activity. What we don't welcome is mayhem and people that want to wreak havoc on our communities.
Miami Beach is going a step further.
We're breaking up with you.
This isn't safe, so we're done.
Releasing a new series of ads aimed at keeping the crowds away from the city after multiple shootings last year left at least 2 people dead. Officials also issued new rules limiting beach access and increasing parking fees for non-residents, a move getting plenty of support from locals.
I can walk on the street at 1 o'clock and not have to fear for a bottle being thrown at my head or crazy things, unexpected things.
Other cities like Daytona and Fort Lauderdale say they're embracing the crowds, but also taking more security precautions this year, hoping to reap the financial benefits of spring break without the chaos.
Law and order is a win for Miami Beach. It's a win for the state of Florida, and it is a win for our entire country.
AAA says the Sunshine State is the #1 destination for spring break travelers this year. In Miami, Dana Marie McNichol, Fox News.
Well, coming up, you will soon be able to watch the Barbie movie in a concert setting. That and more up next in the Hollywood Nation. A blockbuster film gets a live-to-film concert experience. New details revealed about the upcoming iHeartRadio Music Awards and more. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin with all the latest in the Hollywood Nation.
May I ask you to describe Thomas Ripley?
A look at Ripley, Jamie and Corinne re-team, and Barbie plans a trip in the Hollywood Nation. Barbie the Movie in Concert Tour kicks off this summer. The live-to-film concert experience brings the record-breaking blockbuster to life with an all-women orchestra performing the score and soundtrack live as the movie plays on the big screen. Attendees are encouraged to dress up in pink as well as sing and dance along. The production begins its 37-city trek July 2nd in Tampa, Florida.
Let's give away another
Jamie and Corinne Fox will head back to the Beat Shazam stage. The father-daughter duo return for Season 7 of the hit Fox game show, which returns May 28th. The 2024 iHeartRadio Music Awards revealed the star-studded performance lineup. Justin Timberlake, Green Day, Jelly Roll, and Lainey Wilson are among the artists rocking the stage. The ceremony will also feature a special musical tribute to this year's Icon Award recipient, Cher. It airs live from the Los Angeles Dolby Theater April 1st, only on Fox.
He's a liar. It's his profession.
And Netflix released the official trailer to the suspense thriller series Ripley. The new adaptation of the 1955 novel, The Talented Mr. Ripley, stars Andrew Scott as con artist Tom Ripley, who gets caught up in a web of murder and lies after traveling to Italy to convince an old acquaintance to return home to America. The show starts streaming April 4th.
This is what I do for a living.
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
I dig that it's in black and white. And that's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of a Lego art exhibit at a museum in London. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow.